going to move all the way down to playful presence here. I guess we're doing a little circle. Playful presence. I brought in playful not because it's anywhere on my chart, but I brought playful in because play was my word for the year. So playful presence, and that's the city of Gene Key 20. So playful presence, that brings, so often we tend to think of these cities, these higher states of consciousness as being serious, as being heavy, as being huge. Why can't they be playful? The laughing Buddha. So playful presence. I don't mind evolving into that. Let's move over to the right. Majestic tenderness. This is another one that kind of knocks things a little on their ears. So I've got majesty as my city in my life's work. Majesty, Gene Key 34. And then in my purpose, I have tenderness in my city, Gene Key 37. So here you have this beautiful royal being, this majestic being who's also very tender. Tenderness, this deep, loving, gentle tenderness with majesty. I love how all these words bring in such joy to understanding of myself. I really, really, really encourage you to play with the words in your chart, to really play with all the different aspects of your words in your chart and your meanings, and just put them in odd combinations and see what happens. You are a genius, and you will find it through these words, right? And now we're back to objective kindness. Objective kindness. So objective, which one is objective? Let me look. These are lines as well. So objective is my line 6 in my IQ. So I'm very objective in my thinking. So objective, and then kindness is my EQ. Line 4 in my EQ. And IQ and EQ, they have this very, very strong relationship between each other. So there's no reason I can't bring objective kindness in, because so often we can think of kindness as being overly sentimental, overly smothering even, and yet kindness can be objective. You can choose every moment to move out of the tendencies you might have to be mean through tiredness, through being pushed too far, through not being centered, through not listening to what's going on inside of you. You can bring objectivity to that and instead turn it to kindness, both for yourself and for the being in front of you, whoever that is, whether it's your child or your dog, your husband, or a group of students in your classroom. Objective kindness. I think I use that quite a lot. That's actually a combination that's really stuck with me. I like that one. And that's something I haven't talked about yet. I have this as my wallpaper for my iPad. So every time I open it, I see this image. So I am seeing these words subconsciously all the time. I look at my tablet every day. So it's this little trickling way of learning. This little tricksterish way of bringing these energies into my life. Yeah. Not only that, I actually have it pinned, this one, pinned up to my board up there. So I get it everywhere. I don't always sit and analyze it like I am in this video, but the next set of words is relaxed intimacy. This was an interesting one. I couldn't remember how I had gotten this one. I know the first one, relaxed, that's Gene Key 40. And as you notice, there's a cat there. The cat represents Gene Key 40. And Gene Key 40 is the gift of resolve and the shadow of exhaustion. And then the city of divine will. Well, in the dream arc, the cat is relaxed resolve. And I've had the huge lesson of learning how to relax as I've gone through all of my gene keys, because I actually have 40 twice, once in my radiance and once in my culture. So relaxed is an important word for me. Intimacy, I couldn't remember where I got intimacy from. I think I got it from my line 2 in my radiance, where relaxed is. And the line 2 is that marriage, that needing another to have a biofeedback loop to learn about life. Even when I am alone in my art hut, I still have biofeedback loops. I am married to nature right outside my window, and I'm married to art, which I have all around me in this studio. So there's this biofeedback loop that happens even when I'm alone. And it's an intimate one because it is a marriage. It's very intimate because if nothing else, I'm intimately learning about me through these loops. So I guess that's where I'm thinking I got the intimacy, because it isn't a word that is anywhere in my chart. But it's a concept that's in my life. And the last one there is balanced surrender. And I actually got these not from words in my chart, but what I did is I have, and I think I've talked about this in other videos, each of the sequences of the golden path I named for myself. So, for instance, the activation sequence, the keyword for it is ease. That's my keyword for it. Well, my keyword for the Venus sequence is balance. So, balanced, and then my keyword for the Pearl sequence, for all the gene keys within my Pearl sequence, is surrender. So, balanced, surrender. And somehow, for me, that takes a little of the fear out of the concept of surrender. So often we hear in the gestalt of what's going on in the world today, surrender, just surrender to the higher will, and surrender to this and surrender to that. And that's scary shit, because what are we surrendering to, and what's going to happen when we surrender, right? And so when I found the gene keys and really began investigating all of these concepts, I understood that I really needed to learn to trust. It's really like the putting balanced and surrender together, because it helps me. It's kind of like when you have gone through your activation sequence and you have core stability. You can really trust yourself then. So the very last thing on there, you notice there's a Merlin in the background. And with his conjuring there, with his alchemization in his hands there, I have the words, ecstasy is found between the opposites. That seems to be such a theme in my whole chart, is opposites. These very different energies. The energy in Gene Key 40 of needing solitude, the energy in Gene Key 37 needing family. Such opposite energies, and yet they're close to being paradoxical. And then what you do is you find the in-between, and that's where the magic happens. And that's what makes who I am, me. So that little reminder is popped in there as well. Yeah, this is a really great place to stop this video. Please tune in tomorrow for part 3 I'm going to show you how to do this for yourself. You could make a vision board like this, or you could play a game I'm also going to teach you with the delicious words from your own Gene Keys chart.